Are we filming? Yes, we are. So I am doing some housekeeping to my to-do list. This is a homemade notebook, which is A6 size, using very, very thin Clairefontaine 50 GSM paper, which is thin enough so that I can have 50 sheets, 50 sheets maybe, and fold it, and it just works. What have I got to do later on? Vintage garden arch, battery charge of a car. Okay, I must remember those. So, what do I do when I'm housekeeping? What I mean by housekeeping is I've got this folded in such a way as the metal ends of these treasury tags don't scratch, they're hidden. But from time to time, what I have to do is open it at the front and the back at the same time, and this is where my treasury tags are. So this represents my oldest to-do page, and I've crossed it off really well. I don't really cross things off that much, but for this purpose, I am going to... Is there anything here that I might not want you to see? Probably a lot. So basically, I remove this. I remove any page that I've completed. I remove it, so it's gone. But we will come to a time when I need extra bits of paper. So what do? I get myself a sheet of the aforementioned 50 GSM Clairefontaine paper. I don't really need to have it exactly folded in half, but reasonably folded in half, and then I fold it in half again. Very easy to fold it because I'm just doing one page at a time, and then I just whack it into my hole punch it, and then it gives me one of these, and I can have there we go, and I can have a whole stack of these, but to be honest, I just do them one at a time. So one at a time gives me 4 new sheets. I might do this once a day or once every couple of days. Sometimes I make several of these at the end of the week. It doesn't really matter. But how do I get this into the page? Well, folding it and then punching it means I only have the page punch it once rather than 4 times, and I just roughly, because it doesn't really matter, I just cut it once, cut it twice, put this in here, and then we will have 4 pages, which I kind of scrunch them up a little bit. And why do I scrunch them up? It's because they've suddenly become, certainly with this paper, very, very easy to turn over one page without making an error of turning over 2 pages or more at the same time. And then all I do is, sometimes I can do this in one go, but let's say for the sake of argument, I'm just doing one here, so it's a little bit fiddly, but it's okay. Well, it's all part of the routine, I guess, which can be quite therapeutic. You know, if you've got a spare time, you're listening to the radio or listening to a podcast or watching a video. I can thoroughly recommend watching videos. I'm a big fan of doing that, especially paper-based productivity videos. So, okay, so I now have a new page. It's not going to go anywhere, and crucially, this looks a bit rough and ready, but when you turn it over, it's there, job done, ready to rock and roll. New page, new page, new page, new page, new page, new page, and eventually, let's say you need, well, I personally need several pages just in case I'm out and about and I run out of time or space in this particular case. So I'll just keep going until eventually I get to the page that I've just put in. And hopefully I will never get to the end because I've got all these, and it's just, above all, very, very cheap. It's a very, very cheap system, and it's just self-perpetuating. You don't have to carry lots of excess weight. This is probably, I don't know, probably about 60 grams, maybe a little bit more, but crucially you can fold this up, put it in your jeans pocket, leave it in A6, keep it in your jacket pocket or your bag, and the treasury tags, which can be a bit sharp, I must admit, but doing it this way, the only time you ever run the risk of cutting yourself or damaging something is on your is on your first page, because as soon as you finish that first page, when you build these for the very first time, it will then turn over, and then the turning over will hide these. So, you know, it's a bit like making, is it sourdough bread, where you start with a small piece that could last 100 years. This so long as these treasury tags last 100 years, which they might do, frankly, because, you know, the potential is for them to last 100 years in this format. You can get things running with just one page as a to-do list, and then once that's turned over, the only time you ever see these is when you're opening it up and then adding new pages on this side and removing however many of these you need to remove because you've finished with them. I really like this system, but I just thought I'd share with you how I administer the adding and subtracting of pages in my minimalist to-do list. Thanks very much for watching, and goodbye.